So, Leicester Tigers 60, Newcastle Falcons 7. That's right, Leicester Tigers 60, Newcastle Falcons 7. Well, I was not expecting that. Not expecting that one bit. I said in the preview that I thought it'd be a close game, and then that our bench would make the difference and we'd maybe win it in the last quarter or something like that, but how wrong I was. How wrong I was. Might as well get straight into it. Scoring again early, it's a good habit we're getting into, scoring early, scoring first. Hannah Liebenberg scoring after 3 minutes, breaking off the maul. And yeah, just making a really nice habit of that. Scoring first, scoring early, scoring a try. It obviously helps build momentum. And then a few minutes after that, we won a scrum penalty against the head. I think it was Newcastle's first attack, and that kind of set the tone for the match, didn't it? You rarely ever see a team pushed off their own ball. And yeah, that was incredible. Absolutely incredible. As I said, rarely see that. A few minutes after, Claire went over from the rolling maul again, and just, yeah, the rolling maul was just something else yesterday. And then again soon after, another scrum against the head. Again, just crazy to see that against two Premiership sides, to see a team completely pushed off their own ball, and then Joe Powell took it. Went over, a good little run from the 22. So yeah, and it just kept coming. Van Veek and Claire went over. Soon after, again, Claire off the rolling maul, Van Veek from close range. And it was just some display in that first half. Finished off nicely with a lovely line-out move. Wasn't just the rolling maul that was working well. Yeah, a lovely line-out move that Joe Powell scored his second to make the score 39-0 at the break. Yeah, that was our best 40 minutes so far this season. That will have sent shockwaves through the Premiership, because they will have seen that score, they'll review the footage at some point. Wow, that was probably the best 40 minutes I've seen Leicester Tigers play in a good few years, honestly. It was just incredible. Absolutely incredible to score 7 tries, keep them to nothing. Yeah, that 40 minutes will live long in the memory. Going into the second half, you always knew that the intensity wouldn't be as much as the first. A shame, I was hoping for an 80-minute performance, but completely understandable. Newcastle scoring first after the break through Blair Meyer. Shame that we didn't keep them to 0. I think that would have been a nice little achievement to keep them to 0, but just the one try, you can't really complain too much. Liebenberg getting his second from close range, always good to see my favourite Hanro going over for tries and to get his second. Rogerson and Whiteley going over before full time. But yeah, it was just, so unexpected. Like, that was a pretty decent Newcastle side, and probably going to be similar to the side they put out for their first couple of fixtures with people away at the World Cup, and we obliterated them, like, completely. Physicality, just set piece, just all round game. They just could not keep up with us. It was something to behold. But yeah, just an absolute statement, a real statement victory. Just 10 tries to 1. There's no getting away from Newcastle were poor, and to be honest, probably one of the poorest teams we've played this season. I think even Ampthill gave a better showing of their own, but that was the best we've played. We did not make it like they could play. Like, I don't think Adam Radwan even touched the ball. They were just, completely knocked off the park. The maul, as I said, I think we scored maybe 4 or 5 tries off it. That was probably the best I've seen them all be since that 21-22 season, when Donnelly and Montoya were scoring tries for front on the back of it. It was just charging towards the line. It was, the best I've seen it for a long while. The scrum was just incredible. I think it was 3 times we pushed them off the ball. That just doesn't happen in this day and age, and that was just incredible. And I'm going to say it quietly, but I think we're the real deal this season. I really do. I feel like McKellar's brought this just quicker style of play, but our forwards are just still, just incredible. Our set piece is an absolute weapon. The wingers are quick. The backs look good. We look physical. We look fit. I think this could be a really special season. I really do. And I know it's only the first couple of games. I know it's only Premiership Cup, but I think we just look really, really good. And this could be a really exciting season ahead. Only time will tell, but McKellar's got our boys looking sensational so far. Onto the standouts of the game. Joe Powell, I think that performance for me has nailed down that 9 jersey against Bristol. I think he just looks really good. His service is great. He's really quick around the base. Maybe a couple of his box kicks weren't quite on point, and maybe in the tight games that could come back to haunt us, but I'm hoping that was just a few errors. Hopefully he can build on that. But yeah, his overall game is just really good. Showed his international class. Charlie Atkinson, I think we all know that 5 out of 10 off the tee isn't good enough, and I'm sure he knows that. He'll be the number one person to know that. But for me, the fact that that didn't affect his game is almost a bigger plus. Like, you could tell that it was annoying him at the time, but he seemed to just be, okay, next job. And ball in hand, he was brilliant. His kicks to touch were just fabulous, and probably helped to score a few tries because of his kicks being near the 5 metre line for the line outs. Yeah, he was brilliant. He picked his passes well, made a few good carries. Yeah, he had a very good game. And I said in the preview, I said he needed a big game, and I think he delivered on that. I really do. I think maybe he will start at 10 for against Bristol. Ollie Hassell-Collins, I feel like I'm going to be a broken record this season. He was again just sensational. Every time he gets the ball, he looks like he could score. I'd love to know the stats on how many defenders he beat yesterday, because it was just being defenders for absolute fun. And I know Nemani Nandolo became a fan's favourite very quickly, but the reception Ollie Hassell-Collins got after being replaced in that second half, you can tell the Tigers fans just absolutely love him already. He's going to score bags and bags of tries this season, no doubt about it. We've got to go into the pack. Francois Van Veek. Last season, he was probably 3rd or 4th choice, if we're being honest. But this season, I think even if Cronin was fit, I would be starting Van Veek. This style of play just suits him, doesn't it? He's really good ball in hand. I think he scored his 3rd try of the season already. And I think before that, he'd only scored 2 in 30 Tigers appearances. So to score 3 in 4 games is some feat for a loose head. He just, as I said, the open style of play, getting more ball in hand just really suits him. And probably one of the issues, but we always worried a little bit about his scrummaging. Maybe got found out a couple of times, but yesterday him and Hayes were just absolutely demolishing that Newcastle front 3. Yeah, I think he's definitely our starting loose head against Bristol. And speaking of Joe Hayes, for me, he was player of the match. I just thought he had an outstanding game. I'm sure not being at the World Cup is really hurting him, but he's got his head down, worked really hard through pre-season, and it's showing. As I said, the scrums are just a sight to behold, and most of the time he was winning the penalty on his side. His work rate was brilliant. His carries, I think, again, this style of play just suits him. He gets his hands on the ball more often, carries hard. Even won a turnover coming for Tommy's crown. Yeah, don't see that very often, but I think when Cole comes back, he's going to do well to get that 3 jersey off Hayes. I thought he was phenomenal yesterday. But yeah, just what a performance. I could speak about every single one of those players yesterday. They were all brilliant, but yeah, it really is exciting times at Tigers for me. Really is. I'll talk about the permutations in the preview against Bedford, but it pretty much looks like if we get a bonus point win against Bedford, then we'll get a home semi-final in the Premiership Cup, which is absolutely brilliant. Brilliant for the club to get a bit more money, and just brilliant to have another chance at silverware this season. But yeah, just in awe of that performance yesterday. Yeah, exciting times, really is.